Hey, I'm Scotty T from Your Comedy Minute. I have a duo here today. Carmen and Phillip Bennett are with me. You guys call yourself C&P Comedy Factory, right?
Correct.
That is it.
C&P Comedy Factory. I thought of CNC Music Factory.
Exactly. Don't get us in trouble, though.
No, okay, no, you're fine. Now let's start. You guys are in Alabama, right?
Are.
Were you? And I guess I'll go individually, or were you both born and raised in Alabama?
We were.
Okay. Okay. So my next question is, how long have you guys known one another?
Is what we've been married coming up on 8 years. We've known each other for 10.
Okay. All right, that's great. And you started doing comedy about 1.5 years ago together, right?
Yes, but not together.
Right. No, because I have that down. I've written down that sometimes you perform solo.
Right. Most of the time.
Most of the time it's solo.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that because, and she said, Phillip, that's because you're different styles.
Yes, we have different styles. That she is very much the flowing on the cuff, and I'm more structured as far as, an established set. She is more just able to go with it.
So now, and pardon my ignorance here, have either of you been doing comedy longer than 1.5 years, or you both just decided to start 1.5 years ago?
I checked a box on my bucket list about 10 years ago, actually probably longer, to do stand. I went up to Birmingham for an open mic just to check my box. And a little conversation we're having is that, you know what, that when I told her about it, so that's cool, we should try it again. Because I told her my first attempt was a fail. And I was like, I don't want my bucket list to be a fail. Even though I checked it, it wasn't a good one.
Right. Okay.
So we decided to get back into it, to give it a shot, and we've been loving it. So we've been trying to get to as many open mics and trying to create a little comedy scene in the area.
And you just did your, now this is a Facebook post from a week or so ago. You did your 57th show. Is that right?
We're up to 62 tonight, I think.
62. Okay. Yeah. Carmen, you keep going in and out of focus. I think the camera, if you slide, I know you don't want to, but slide closer to him. There you go. No. There you go.
Avoid.
Okay. But okay, so having done 61 shows together, do you feel like they get better as you go along?
Absolutely. We have grown so much from that very first time that I did it. And I did it really to encourage him. And I was over prepared. I had my note cards and everything. I still tanked.
Right.
Now I go out there without anything and I feel totally comfortable. Most of the time it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But we're definitely getting better.
The stage presence and presentation has definitely gotten better. And I still try to work on one little thing each time. And so each time being on stage is better. But definitely I would, you want to keep saying sometimes the material that you may try doesn't be as successful as you'd like for it to be when you're trying out new stuff.
Do you guys do a lot of now? And again, I'm kind of, because I'm not sure. When you say 61, you've done 61 together, or?
Right. That means most of our shows we both perform. Now we don't perform together. We're not like an act. We can.
All right.
But we have our own spots. But that is 61 shows that we have gone to and performed. So it's not like he's done 30 and I've done 30. That's 61, 62 shows. Okay.
Well, the reason I asked is because when my parents were growing up, and I don't know, you guys would remember this, there was a couple called the Bickersons. And the Bickersons rematch, and it was couples comedy, Don Amici and Francis Langford or something like that.
Wow.
And my parents loved it. They had 2 or 3 of their albums and would play them. And, I just thought that might be a pretty cool dynamic. to have you both up on stage. How many would you say you've done together? Have you done any together?
Very few. We do occasionally, just because of the circumstance, but that's a rare thing. Now, tonight is unique. Tonight is the first time that Phillip and I actually are hosting together. I have hosted separately without Phillip, but this one we're both hosting. So there'll be some of that banter, and I'm sure there'll be some back and forth tonight.
Right. Well, now again, I'm a little, this is hard for me because, you know, I'm not sure. I haven't seen a lot of your material. Do either of you do like darker, dirty material and the other one's clean, or are you both pretty clean, or how does that work?
Well, to be honest, I'd say we're both fairly clean. If anyone goes a little darker, it would probably be me, but that's only because of bath humor more than just dark, you know.
Actually, when Phillip is not with me, I get kind of raunchy. It depends on where we're at.
Okay. Well, you know, I told you I have a Carmen joke, and I wondered if you had heard the Carmen joke.
Oh my goodness.
Do either of you know the Carmen joke?
No,
you never heard
I want to hear it.
I heard it a long time ago, but I've never ever had a Carmen, you know, that I was able to use it. So Carmen, this is for you, and Phillip, I hope you like it.
Oh
The guy goes into a bar and he sees this woman and he goes up, he says, "What's your name?" She said, "My name's Carmen." He said, "That's beautiful." She said, "Well, I changed it. My name used to be Karen, but I changed it to Carmen because I love cars and I love men." Wow, that's great. She said, "What's your name?" My name's BJ Titzenbeer. I'm sorry. I can
help you out with 2 out of the 3. You can use your imagination which ways.
Yeah, I like that joke, Carmen. That's my only Carmen joke, but I thought I'd give it a whirl.
Do you feel better? Do you feel better getting that out now?
You know, I get giddy, you know, especially when there's 2 of you. It's 2 on 1. I gotta try and keep up.
We are kind of weird. We get it.
Well, weird is good. Well, how about we do this? How about let's do either one of you pick one and do a little bit of your comedy. Why don't we start with Carmen? You go first, Carmen, ladies first, and do a little bit of your comedy.
Okay. So Phillip and I travel a lot. We do a lot together. And one of the recent trips that we took was to New Orleans. And I felt totally at home there. I don't know if it's all the weird people. I don't know. It was like coming home. So the hotel that we stayed at was right next to the Museum of Death. Have you ever heard of this place? It has
I've been to New Orleans. I've been to New Orleans.
Okay. So anyway, Phillip's in bed and I sneak over to the Museum of Death and I got a torture device. I stole it and I brought it home with me. We're not allowed back to New Orleans because if we go back, I'm probably going to go to jail, especially if you air this. The cat's out of the bag.
Oh, I'm going to air it.
You have any idea what I brought back?
No clue.
The worst invention of all time. A bra. Who the hell invented that shit? You get 3 pieces of metal that stick in your back. Okay. You can't breathe. It obviously had to be a man. A woman would have never done that. Okay.
Okay.
So a little tidbit that you don't know about me, Scott, is I bought my boobs. Okay. These are purchased. I bought them right before I met Phillip, $4,000 10 years ago. If I bought them today, they'd probably be closer to 10,000 with inflation. Well, what do you do when you get boobs and you didn't have boobs? You buy bras, right? I know you're following this, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Been there, done that.
So anyway,
my buddy says if they're attached, they're real.
Well, hey, they are very real, and I'd like to see the replay man get these. But anyway, I bought these really expensive, gorgeous Victoria's Secret bras, and I want to tell you that was the most painful thing I have ever put on my body. I mean, what? Who does that? Who does that? It was terrible. So anyway, the next time you see me and my boobs are pointing to the sky, know that I'm sacrificing for y'all. Okay. But I have something from the Museum of Death right here.
All right. All right.
See it.
Okay. Philip, anything but a brawl. Anything but a brawl.
And I normally show one, but I don't have one right
No,
now.
that's okay. I'm good. I'm good. I'm
So
good.
she's going braless? Did she just say she's going braless? Because she said she doesn't.
Philip,
Sorry.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching that.
I appreciate it, but
Yeah, I mean, it's your wife. That's the last thing I want to do. Go ahead, Philip. Give me a little taste of Philip comedy.
as well, I always like to make fun of the fact that I'm getting older. I mean, it's fun getting older. And one of the things, especially now, I realize that I'm getting older, is that things don't work the way they're supposed to. They don't.
Right.
You know, if you take intimacy, for example, I'm now at the age where for me to get intimate, I have to take the little pill.
Yeah.
And to make sure I'm good to go, sometimes I'll take 3 or 4. I mean, I just need it. I don't have to. If I don't pop some Advil or Tylenol beforehand, by the time we're halfway through, my back is hurting. I'm telling you that intimacy at my age just plain hurts. So I have to take some Advil or ibuprofen before.
You had me. You had me. I thought you were taking the Viagra.
No, it's just to stay. I'm just getting old. It hurts.
Yeah.
And it's not that we're doing some kinky stuff. It's just pure kinks I'm getting. I'm getting kinks in my neck.
I see. I see.
And it's a sad day when you're getting old that foreplay is stretching out so you don't pull a hammy. You know, that's foreplay nowadays. And, you know, we don't go for the cigarette afterwards when we're done. We have to go for the oxygen. You know, we have to catch our breath.
That's true.
Because it's just intimacy at our age is just a different level. You have to approach it differently.
And the morning after pill now for me is also that ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Well, that's great stuff, guys. Let me ask you this. Do both of you plan on doing this, you know, now full time or as much as you can? I mean, obviously you're racking up shows.
Yes, it's kind of our retirement plan, honestly. And I'm serious when I say that.
Yeah,
We're wanting to honestly travel around in retirement and just do this. We're having a ton of fun. And my background, just kind of give you a little bit of backstory. I'm a writer.
I know, Carmen, a lot of it, the music business. I have that written down.
Yeah.
Carmen Melton Bennett, and you know, you have a lot on Instagram and what?
Our cat is heaving up a hairball 50 feet in front of us. I guess.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I may have to tank that one.
I got a hairball. I just got done giving the cat a bath.
Well, she's going to need something.
I'm sorry.
You are absolutely fine. But my point being is I'm a writer, and my ultimate goal would be to write comedy, of course, you know.
Okay.
So this is an end to a means. I love being on stage, but I really enjoy writing more than anything.
Okay.
So.
Well, I just had a fellow on, and again, I think that you don't know that you'll know either any of these people, but I had a gentleman on named Tom Padovano, and Tom actually sold jokes to Phyllis Diller, Joan Rivers, Rodney Dangerfield, and I hope to have another young lady coming on that she also sells jokes.
Okay.
So yeah, who knows what's going to happen, Carmen.
Exactly.
And Philip, you feel the same way as far as you just want to continue doing comedy?
Absolutely. I thoroughly enjoy it. You know, like you said, our end of game is when we hit retirement is get an RV and become full timers and travel around to where we can chance to perform and get up on stage and keep doing it.
Yeah.
For as long as people have us.
Well, I think you touched on something because I was in the music business, and you have to go up and play because you enjoy playing, not because you're worried about picking up girls or money or this or that. The people that are successful, and you guys seem to have the right philosophy that you just want to have fun. And, I think that when you're having fun, it exudes, the audience knows you're having fun.
Absolutely. That's a great point.
Do you have nights, because everyone has them, where you bomb or you just, and I imagine it's funny how maybe Carmen, you do well and he doesn't, or he does well and you don't.
We have, and being from the music background, musicians are nuts. but comics are
Yeah.
nuttier. And I'm
Oh,
a
yeah.
therapist professionally. So I'm telling you, this is verifiable. So some of the experiences that we have had in this comedy life have been comedic, very much so. They have nothing to do with performance. We
Yeah.
have seen crazy stuff, and unfortunately, you know, there are nights you go and it's wonderful, it's amazing, you're on, but more often than not, there's going to be something off, and you just have to know how to roll with the punches.
Right.
There's gonna be, if you're looking for validation, you're going to be heartbroken. You know? So you have to be able to get out there and picture yourself out there every single time, even if it's one person or no people or a room full, you know. So
Right.
yes, most of the time we're kind of on the same vibe. We have similar type nights. There's a rare night when I might have a better night and he might tank, or vice versa. But you know, we just use every opportunity as a time for, number one, practice, and to learn.
Yeah.
You know,
You
Well,
can't take.
go ahead, Philip. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say you just can't take it that serious
or
because
personally.
because it may be like I had a really bad tank one night at one place, and I knew I was going to tank. But I said, you know what? It was a new set. I wanted to try it, and I even told them because I read the room. I'm like, guys, I don't think this set's going to fly over very well, but I got to start practicing it somewhere. And
Right.
I did it, and I worked on presenting. It's almost like doing the set to a chair. I tell a friend, sometimes I do the set to a chair. You know, I just completely ignore the crowd. I'm trying to perfect the set of the way I deliver it. And it bombed, but you know, you can't take it personally. It's just, it is what it is. You know, if I go back and do one of my more polished sets, I'm sure it'll go over very well, but you got to keep writing new material because you can't keep doing the same things over and over.
Right.
So you got to try them out somewhere, and I'll have a chance to try that other set somewhere else. And if it bombs again, then maybe it does hit the garbage can, but you never know.
Well, I think I just want to say this because, and you guys, when you watch it back, you'll see the way you laugh together and stuff. You know, you can tell you two are very happy. And I think that will go a long way, you know, as far as, because there's going to be, like you said, and having worked in the music business where every night it's like a circus, you know, every night, you know, you're in a different room and there's different things happen. The bus broke down or this, or there's, you know, was car accident or just hard time, or the promoter's giving you a hard time or whatever. And, you know, you guys having that camaraderie, I think is just fantastic.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Scott.
No, but it's important because, you know, there's going to be trials and tribulations. And one other thing, Philip, that you mentioned is timing. You know, I've been doing it 4.5 years, and timing, you know, the jokes, I could do a joke, and if I screw it up, you know, I don't wait too long. Or even the Carmen joke. I don't know if you guys liked it or not, but, you know, you can tell that. And if I would have screwed it up by saying, well, what's your name? You know, or, you know, there's ways, and I'm sure you guys experience that, where you have a good joke, but you screw it up.
Yeah.
And like you said, Carmen, you just got to keep rolling.
Yep.
It is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm one of those guys. I take it very seriously. And when I screw it up, I've done 105 YouTube lives, and I have a hard time watching some of them back because I'm like, oh my God. You know,
We are critics.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think comedians are, because, you know, you want it to be perfect. And Philip, you mentioned that, where, you know, you have a set and you like it, you performed it to the chair, and the chair liked it. No, but, you know, I'm joking, but, you know, and then you go out and it just doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
Or parts of it work. You have to, I think Seinfeld talks about that. There's a special on Netflix where he goes out to clubs and tries it and then pulls out material that he knows got good laughs and so on and so forth.
Yep. The
Yeah,
nuggets.
it's just,
All the nuggets. There's little
Yeah.
that's particular nuggets that I can keep. That's going
Yeah.
in my pocket. That's definitely worked. The other stuff, get rid
Right.
of. But nugget, that's mine.
good. And Carmen, you feel the same way?
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of it just has to do with the night. It can be the greatest joke in the world. Sometimes people just don't want to laugh. They're not in the mood.
Yeah, there's some people, it's the room, and you know, it depends too, because there's different, like and again, I'm just guessing because I haven't seen you live. Carmen, you seem more like a storyteller kind of person. And
Yes.
Philip, are you more like a one-liner kind of guy?
I'm trying to actually evolve. I used to be a storyteller, and then I noticed that I needed to present more layers and to get to the meat faster and faster and faster. So
Okay.
that I'm still a storyteller. Like the one bit I told you is actually 5 minutes, and that was like one little layer, one little layer. So I can pull
Right.
out little things if necessary, but I'm still more of a storyteller. But
Okay.
I break them up into like 1-2 minute sections where they're layered, so I
Yeah.
can separate and segment and
Cool.
alternate.
Cool. Well, you guys are really something else. I'm really impressed.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, I mean it. Well, look, what we'll do is I'll check back in with you in a couple of months. We'll see how things are going along for you, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
And because we're running a little short of time, I would like, if you could, and I think we should do it separately, your comedy minute. Did she tell you about this, Philip? Did she mention it to you?
Something that you think is funny.
Oh yeah, yes, you
Okay.
did.
So let's go. Who wants to go first? Doesn't matter to me.
I can.
Okay,
And I'll
you
do
go
real
first,
quick.
Carmen.
I'll do 45 seconds or less. Okay. So I am a massive fan of great writing. The Golden Girls is my absolute favorite. So
Okay.
Golden Girls, picture it. Okay.
I know Golden Girls.
Blanche is at the table and Rose is talking about being flighty, right? And Rose, Blanche says, "Oh, Grandma used to say I was a little flighty, or was that a little floozy?" Oh, that was hilarious. Your turn.
I got
No, that's fine. No, hold on a second, Philip. No, and Carmen, when I do this, and Philip, you can just take notes on this. Every time I get to this part, people are like, "Well, I'm not sure." I laughed recently. A young lady said, "I don't know that I understood the assignment." And Carmen, that's fine. That's Golden Girls. That scene. That's what makes that you think of that. It just makes you laugh.
It cracks me up every time.
Yeah. And Philip, go ahead. What do you got?
Is one of my just favorite movies of all times, Tropic Thunder. I love the fake opening trailers, but one of my favorite scenes is when Robert Downey Jr., his character refuses to break character. And it's like, well, I don't break character until DVD commentary,
Right.
That's just the beauty of that writing and how it just is this complete satire to Hollywood about how different actors just stick to roles and refuse to break it. I just love that movie. There's just so many different things in that movie that just cracks me up. So
Yeah, I just had a young lady on the other day that told me her favorite movie of all time is Animal House.
Yeah.
nice. Great
And
movie.
my favorite movie, you guys probably have never seen it. My favorite movie is Harlem Nights.
Nice. Okay.
And one of my favorite comedy bits, and you'll have to check it out, I'll try and send you the link or whatever, is David Letterman. If you ever watch Letterman or like Letterman, Letterman had some monkeys on one night, and oh man, that's comedy gold. I just love it.
I picture that in my head.
Oh yeah, no, it's hilarious. If you like Letterman, I mean, a lot of people like Len or this that, but if you like Letterman, I'll tell you what I'll do is after this is over or whatever, I'll send it to you, Carmen.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
Well, listen, unless you guys got anything else, I'm going to stop the recording. We can talk for a minute or two off the record.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Do you have
hey,
anything?
let's do a quick promo. Follow
Yeah.
us on MP Comedy on Facebook. We're all over the internet. So look us up.
What's up?
Let
Thank
me ask you real quick before we go. Now, I know, Carmen, you have an Instagram page. Does CMP Comedy Factory have an Instagram, a YouTube, any of that? Because I'll include those links.
This summer, we will be launching our personal website. So
Okay.
we're getting a cmpcomedy.com this summer.
Okay.
So a big rollout of all
All right.
social
Well,
media.
that'd be a great time for me to catch up with you guys, and
Exactly. This
we'll
July,
announce everything. But for
first.
now, it's just CMP Comedy Factory
Yeah.
on
Yes,
Facebook.
sir. Exactly.
I'll make sure to include that link. Well,
Thank
listen,
you.
guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thank you.
day. I'm going to stop the recording, but hang out for a second, okay?
Thank you.
It was my pleasure.